Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we are doing the February book reflections. This is all of the books that I either read, reviewed, or just plain old wanted to talk about in the month of February 2025. I am going to try to do one of these every month this year. Anything that I want to chat about as far as books go will land here in this video. And these videos will always be at the end of the month, and also they'll be found if you want to watch them anytime in the book reflections playlist on my channel. All right, so let's start with Tarot for Lightseers. This is the guidebook that I read this month. I am trying to read at least one guidebook that I've been meaning to read this year. So this book is a beautiful hardbound, soft touch cover. Um, I don't know. This is just the quality on this is really nice. Even the binding, I don't know if you can see, they sewed it in a little bit at a time. Even though you've got glossy pages, it lays flat and it doesn't feel like they're going to rip out, because I worry with glossy pages about that kind of stuff. But this one just feels really good quality. This is by Chris Ann, and it is meant to go along with her Light Seers tarot deck. So if you have that deck, I'm sure you recognize the cover of this book. Now, if you don't have the deck, this and you love Chris Ann stuff, I think this book would be fun to pick up, because it's not just about the deck. It is about the deck now. Don't give me the lion. It's about the deck, but also it's kind of her thought process about art, like how she thinks about the symbols that she puts in the deck and what she thinks they all represent. And I think that could cross-reference with some of her other decks. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I have some ideas of ways that I might want to do that with a few of well, I have one other deck by her, the one with the anthropomorphic animals. And I think maybe even the Muse Tarot could be fun to use with this. So I have Sacred Creators, Tarot of Curious Creatures is the one I was talking about, and I have Light Seers. I don't have the Muse. That's the only one I don't have. So obviously I like Chris Ann's stuff. You've got her handwritten quotes throughout, her handwritten affirmations throughout, just like you do in the Light Seers guidebook. And here's the table of contents. You can see that there is a lot of stuff in here. Now, um, if you had the Light Seers and you bought it a few years back, you used to be able to go on her website and download quite a bit of the information that you would find in this book. Now, I did look to see if that was still available. I couldn't find it. I don't know. I didn't do like an extensive search, but I didn't find it. And I do have the PDFs, but I think that now those PDFs are all contained within this book. And maybe some of the stuff from her indie run of the Light Seers as well in here. So there's a lot kind of compacted, and I do like that it's all in one place and to have the hard copy. I prefer to work with a hard copy myself than a PDF. So you have some notes from her in the beginning, and she talks about the Light Seers and the inspiration behind it and why she wanted to make this deck and why she wanted to do this book, using it as a healing tool, using the Light Seers Tarot as a healing tool, and using this book to kind of help with that, like be a part of your toolkit, as it were. There's a section in here on spreads that is kind of like how to use your deck as a healing tool, different spreads for that purpose, right? So you've got the light and shadow spread. Some of these are available in the little book that comes with it. Some of them are not. Most of them, I think, are not. But there's quite a few spreads in here. I think you could see in the front, there's quite a few spreads in here. And then for the major arcana, you get this sort of mind map, I want to call it, of the card with notes from the creator. There's a quote at the bottom. And then you get what you would find in the guidebook, which is the light, which is like upright meanings, the shadow seer, which is like the reversed meanings. You get this chariot story, which I think is what we found in the PDF. The message, which I think is what you can find in the guidebook. And then you also find this affirmation in the guidebook. And then you have some questions down here, which I can't remember if those are in the guidebook or not. And I didn't write it down, so I can't remember. But if you have the deck, you'll be able to see. And then the thing that's really different for this one is that you have a spread for all of the major arcanas. So for the chariot, she's giving you, so this is separate spreads from the spreads in the spread section, right? So in the chariot, you have the opposing energies unite spread. And this is a spread for when you have two opposing choices, voices, or desires. And I like that inclusion of voices. So it's not just opposing choices, but also opposing voices. Maybe two people talking to you, telling you to do two different things. Or you have two desires. Before you pull your cards, get it clear on those two either desires, voices, or choices. And then choice number one is a message about choice number one, this first card, a message about choice number two. And then you're going to compare the two cards and their meanings and where do they overlap and then what connects them, right? So you're writing all this in your journal. And then how can you get both of these opposing energies headed in the same direction? So you're going to think about that. You're going to journal about that. How can you get them headed in the same direction? And then you're going to pull another card for willpower and energy. So this is the final card to help you clarify where you should focus your energy. And then at the bottom here, so if you use your tarot for healing work or in spell work and things like that, there's this little section that tells you kind of the types of things you could use the chariot card for. So chest and stomach issues, strength and mobility issues, physical rehabilitation, fitness or weight loss goals, quick moving alignments, negative mindsets, help sticking to meditation or daily routines, adrenal fatigue, ulcers, foot or leg problems, and it goes on. And that's like that for every card. So that is the chariot. And then we get into the strength card, and you have the same sort of treatment for all of the majors. I said for every card, but I meant for all of the majors. Then when you get into the minors, it's, you don't have the spreads, but you still have quite a bit of information here. So here's the Nine of Wands. You have the light and shadow. You have a story of what you see on the card. Like, this is literally a story. This is not a story of what you see. This is a story of the energy of it being in this place. So if you pull this card and this is where you are, how does this person on this card feel? So it says brazenly, the Nine of Wands stands guard, poised and ready to take on anything that comes her way. She has been defending this place for so long that she can't remember what it's like to not be guarding her fence of wands. She can remember, however, that it feels like the battle has already been won, and that it's won through resilience, effort, and defiance. The others have already left their posts to rejoin their newly found peace, but she's not quite ready. Not yet. She wants to make sure that they are truly safe, and she feels like this one last stand is required for her. Is it residual fear? A needed action? She's not sure, but somewhere in her heart, she knows that it's almost time to let go and relax. Underneath battle scars, she wants nothing more than to feel the security blanket of rest. She leans on her most intimidating wand and wrestles with the sedating weariness that creeps in her bones. She promises herself that this will be the last midnight watch she'll take, one final push to complete this task. And tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, she will retreat. See, it's a story, and I love it. I've really been enjoying reading them. I think I read almost all of them by now, but and then it gives you a message what to do if you pull this card. Don't give up now. You're almost there, so and so. And then I think most of this is in the guidebook. And then you have some questions. What could you do to make your life easier? Are you being overprotective in your current situation? Sometimes, as the light seer, as the light and shadow seers, we choose the more difficult path because we believe we are making progress when we are battling our shadows, fighting when we could be healing, or holding on to old lessons when we could be letting go. Are you romanticizing the idea of your painful lessons? What a question. And and there's two others there to ask yourself. So that's what you get. You still get the mind maps, and they're just two to a page instead of one big one. So this is the 9, which we just read, and then also the 10, which is coming next. So yeah, that's how that goes. And then in the back of the book, you have some cool correspondence charts, which I love a correspondence chart. I don't know about y'all, but I thought this one was fun. So this is the Light Seers and the Rider Waite Smith symbols charts, my favorite one, my favorite correspondence chart. So for all 78 cards, what she has done is put the Rider Waite here and the Light Seer. So you can see them all side by side for all of the cards, and then taken and listed out some of the prominent symbols that we recognize and that we use often, like those prominent ones from the Rider Waite Smith, and then what she used to represent some of that in the Light Seers tarot. So for instance, for this Fool, we have the dog is representing the companion, and the companion in the Light Seer, she used an amethyst crystal. And so it talks about that. And then there are some that are, this represents that, and this is what I use. Some are the same, some are different, and some things she put in there that weren't even in the Light Seers, and some things the Light Seer has in I'm sorry, some things she put in there that weren't in the RWS, and some things the RWS has that are not available in the Lightseers. And you can see them side by side here. All 78 cards. I love that. There's a couple of other correspondence charts in the back as well. There's like runes, body parts. There's a landscape one that I thought was kind of fun, where, well, it's a chart where you can see what the landscapes mean and stuff like that in the decks. Like if you see mountains, what those mean and stuff like that. So that's the tarot for Lightseers. Great book. You can get this from Hay House. This is a Hay House publication. Another book that I got from Hay House some time ago that I actually read this month, or I'm still reading it. I have 2 more chapters to go, but we're going to go ahead and talk about this now because I'm about done. This is a guide. This is Black Girl in Love with Herself by Trey Anthony, a guide to self-love, healing, and creating the life you truly deserve. This has been such a joy to work through. Her writing is very much, it's like a mix between self-help and memoir. So every chapter has some personal memoir, writing in there, but then also some advice. And Trey Anthony is a lifestyle coach as well as a screenplay writer, and a playwright, and a writer in general, but she's a lifestyle coach as well, and so she has some really great advice to share as far as just loving yourself and learning things. And so I think that what this book does, each chapter kind of walks through different encounters with herself, right? And things that she had to either work through, get over, accept, move past, sometimes even just alchemize some trauma, and how she did it, or how she suggests that other people work through it as well. And each chapter has, like, that sort of memoir aspect, and then also um, questions, thought exercises, journal prompts, or journal questions that you can answer in your journal. Okay, so basically what happened was I shouldn't be laughing about this because it's terrible what happened. So she had a traumatic breakup at a very pivotal point in her life. It shattered her whole her whole self, her existence, her belief in love, everything. And she had to build herself back up from everything that she thought she knew about the people in her life, the person who broke up with her, and everything. But she couldn't just let go because she had just adopted a child, like literally just adopted a child when it all happened. So there was that need to get right for her son. So I think that she had to find the love for herself, and she walks through all of the things that she encountered on the way and things that she wants to share with us. We go through all of these chapters. There's 16 chapters. I think I'm on 15. So I've read Dear Mama, and then The Strong Black Woman, right? And so we talk a little bit about that. Who's Got Your Back? I Know We're Family, but You're a Hot Mess. I love the titles of these chapters. More Money, More Problems. More Money, More Problems. Mo money. Why can't I say mo money, mo problems? It's mo money, mo problems, not more problems. Sis works hard for the money. Sis, can we talk therapy? Getting rid of the drama in your life. Sis, make that change. Mindset, manifestation, and vision. Love, sex, and intimacy. Black women and vulnerability. Keep the faith. Daddy issues. And then Who Hurt You? And then Beautiful Black Girl is the last chapter. I love that there was a song for every chapter, because I promise you, I listened to every song every time I read a chapter. So I did like a chapter a night, and I listened to the song while I was washing the dishes because I knew that I was going to be reading that chapter that night. So I would be like, She Who Shall Not Be Named, play Dear Mama by Tupac Shakur. I'm not going to say her name because then she's going to start talking, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I would say play Dear Mama by Tupac Shakur, and it would play that, and then other songs that sound like that, and it would just be like a nice vibe to get into. Before I read the chapters on mother figures and mommy issues, and the strength of how moms can help, and all the things about mamas, right? I'm going to listen to this Dear Mama song and all the songs similar on the internet because it's fun and it just feels more engaging. And then at the end of every chapter, you get the Sis Get Your Mind Right. You have some questions and some affirmations here for every chapter. They're not long chapters. So like I said, I read one a night. And yeah, I went through it pretty quickly. And it's easy to read, conversational. They have these little exercises that come up, meditations that come up throughout the book. It's good. It was really engaging read, and I enjoyed it. So I would say, if I was going to give it stars, I'd probably give it 4.5, maybe 5 even. This was good for a self-help book. So yeah, the songs were a nice touch. It not only does it kind of give me an insight into the writer's personality, but also it helped keep me engaged in the process of reading the book and the journey of going through this book. So it wasn't just like another self-help book. You know what I mean? Like, here we go again on somebody telling me how, I need to get my money right, or how I need to, work through my daddy issues, or how I need to, it just kind of made it more fun for me. So I enjoyed that. But anyways, this is Black Girl in Love with Herself by Trey Anthony. I enjoyed this one this month. Okay, so recently I just did a video called The Loveliest Decks, where I mentioned a deck that I just received called Ascending Assertions. And in that video, I also talked about the author, R.H. Sin. I was saying he's a Black author so I have some of his books still with me, and I have had some of his books in the past. And I wanted to share a couple of the ones that I actually still have here on my shelf. These are two books of poetry by two writers, two poets. So we have R.M. Drake or Robert Drake, and then R.H. Sin. Okay, so they are in each book. We have a section from one author and then a section from another poet, and they are books on love. So perfect to be thumbing through this month. I did reread some of the poetry. I didn't reread everything, but I did reread some of the poetry. So the premise of this, they come together in a packet together. And the premise of this is Beautiful Sad Eyes is exploring sort of the melancholy and the sadness of love, and that comes with being in love and losing love and loss and all that grief and things like that. And then the weary and waiting for love kind of explores the light part of love, or maybe I should say the optimism of love, or how love can waiting for love can bring peace sometimes, or finding love can bring peace. So those two I wanted to share because they are on sale. Well, they were when I checked on Amazon. They are having Andrews McMeel has been having a fantastic sale on quite a few of their decks and books this year on Amazon. Someone brought it to my attention. I will put her name here on. I'll put her. Her name is Selena. I will put her her YouTube here on the screen so that you can see, so that you can go check out her channel as well. But she brought it to my attention. She DM'd me and told me, oh, they're having a sale. And that's when I picked up Ascending Assertions. But this was also on sale. And some other things are on sale as well. So if they're still on sale, I would definitely run over there and check them out. Because I got Ascending Assertions for $2.95. And this book, I think, was on sale for like both of these, because they come together. So I think they were on sale for 6 or 9 or something. It was a very good price. So yeah, definitely great books. In the front, you'll get Robert Drake's poetry, and then in the back, um, it's half and half. So it says starts here for R.H. Sin's poetry, and it's the same in each book. Yeah, each one for Robert Drake in the front, you get a content, and then the back for R.H. Sin, he does his by index by verse, so you can look up the verses and see which pages those would be on. Yeah, I think these are great. Look at this one. It's just, I'm sorry you thought it was okay to lose me. And that's it. That's all I have to say. I love you, not for what you can do for me, but for what I'm willing to do for you. Someone who listens, someone loyal, someone considerate, someone kind, someone supportive. It's that simple, and it's so, that makes you think. It's like, you have this list. It's such a simple list, or it seems like it's so simple, but then why is it so hard to find, Like the moon, when midnight arrives, you will find light shining from within. So yeah, this is weary waiting. What is the name of this? I'm trying to think. The title is Weary. No, I think the title is Beautiful Sad Eyes, Weary Waiting for Love. The title of the set, if you want to look it up. I'll put the links. I'll put the links down below. I don't know why I'm trying to remember, but I'll put the links down below. And last but not least, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Tarot Grimoire. Now, I'm not going to do a review of this because I've done a whole video review of this, and I will put that up here in the cards, and you can find those cards if you're wondering where do the cards go. They're always down below the description box. So if you click the description box and scroll all the way down, you'll find every card I put up here down there. So I've been using this a little bit this month. When I did the review, I hadn't actually done too much in here. This month, I've done a spread, which I will put here on the screen for you now if you're interested in seeing it. It was a love spread because it's the month of love. I think it was a self-love spread. And I'd made a tea, and I wanted to share that. I videotaped it. So the Ace of Cups had this peace tea, and I wanted to do it. So I did it, and I turned on the camera. So I'm going to share that with you now. All right, so I'm in the Tarot Grimoire today. We're doing the Cups study for our tarot study, and in the Ace under the Ace of Cups, she has this Tea of Peace spell, and I want to try it. So I ordered the chamomile flowers and the lemon balm, and I tried to order rose petals, but they all came in separate packages. I ordered them all at the same time. They all came in separate packages, and the rose petals never arrived. And in the package that it was supposed to be in, it came I got suits. I got men's suits and ties and shirts. So and it was my name on the package. It wasn't even like the wrong name on the package. It was my name with the wrong content. So I had this pack of rose petals left over from last year when I bought my advent calendar for tea, and they sent me, this is from their partner, from the tea company. This is their partner, Celafina, and they sent me these, and I just had them in my spice cabinet. So they're a little bit old. Hopefully they still have flavor, but I didn't want to try it again with Amazon. These arrived, so we'll use those. So since I'm going to be doing a self-love spread today for our cups study, I thought I would make this tea because it says here that the tea can be used when you carry out a spread. So I thought, yeah, and I could use some peace in my life. So yeah, it says tea rituals have played an essential role throughout history in many cultures all over the world. It's a perfect way to embody the Ace of Cups and bring some peace to the waters in your body. The best time to cast this is anytime, so that's great. And then it says you will need a tea diffuser, got that. 1 tablespoon of dried chamomile, 1 tablespoon of dried lemon balm, 1 tablespoon of dried rose petals, a teacup, and boiling water. Combine 1 tablespoon of each of the herbs in a tea pouch or infuser, and then hold the infuser in your hands. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and connect to your heart chakra and sacral chakra, the place in your body where you store and feel emotions. All right, so I'm gonna just mix them up. Let's do it. Let's get the tea out of the containers here. So I have my tea diffuser here, my little trusty little froggy guy. This is a beautiful cup a friend sent me for Christmas one year, and I rarely use it except for special things. So I thought, why not use it for our tea ritual? I think that would be nice. And I told you about these things, and this is just for me to mix the tea in while I'm setting the intention. So I got this spoon in my Mindful Souls box. It has this piece of quartz at the edge, and it's supposed to enhance intentions. So it's a little bit, I don't know. I feel the spoon is a little bit too rusted to use to stir my tea or coffee with, but I feel like I could scoop out the tea with this and just kind of give it a little attention while I'm scooping. So that's what I'm going to do. It's supposed to be a tablespoon, but I don't measure anything when I cook or when I make tea, so we're just going to scoop some chamomile tea in here. Rando like, because that's how I roll. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same with the lemon balm. Got to get it open first. All right. My intention of setting my intention of peace and calm. I think that's enough. One more. That one seems to want to be in the mix here. And then the rose petals. I'm gonna need a pair of scissors to open this, I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this open. And with intention, scoop out. Very much. Okay, I think that's good. And then there's a little incantation here. Let's see what it says. Magical plants of peace. Thank you for your medicine, your magic, and your healing. I wonder if I could maybe draw in an angel here, Archangel of Peace, to bring in some of your Archangel of Peace. Help me find peace in my drinking of this tea. Feel peace. And now I'm gonna brew this tea. I'm feeling calm already. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty calm already. Let's see if we can get this in here. Oh, look, I'm already making a mess. It's a good thing I put down the little placemat. So that's ready to go. Let's pop this off. And drop it in. Let it brew. Now, I just used whatever temperature of water I'm going to use. I didn't do too much. I'm just going to sit it over here and give it a couple of minutes to brew. And I'm going to read this magical herb law here. It says chamomile is an incredible and versatile flower and plant that aids in healing anxiety and insomnia. It is also anti-inflammatory and it boosts the immune system. That's just some of the properties of this magical herb. Well, when it came in the mail from Amazon and it was this huge package, I thought it was going to be about half the size. I didn't pay attention. And I was kind of like, why I don't need this much chamomile. But now that I've read that, I'm like, well, maybe I might want to put this in some more teas. And if I can actually find the fresh rose petals, I might, make a little jar of it and just keep it, so that I can just brew it when I want to. So that's that. I'm going to finish steeping my tea here, and then I'm going to drink it and do my tarot. So that's going to be my first time using the tarot grimoire for one of its rituals. I've used the spreads before, but this is my first time with the ritual. So I'll report back and let you know how this went, or if I if I ever found any more rose petals and did a big, because now I'm scared to order them from Amazon. And did a big pot, or what happened. I'll let you know when I film the video at the end of the month. I'm filming this on February. I don't know, it's early in the month, so I still have a long way to go before the end of February when I film the video. So I'll let you know how it went. But my tea looks like it's just about ready. And the color is starting to get a little bit yellow for the chamomile. Okay, we're gonna see how it tastes. I don't love chamomile, so I think this is gonna need sugar. That's why I got this out. Yeah, it definitely needs a little sugar. I usually don't put sugar in my tea because I like, especially floral teas, I like to taste the flower, but I don't think this needs some sugar. Also, next time I do this, I'm definitely going to be putting more rose petals. I think they're old. I don't taste as much. I taste a little hint, but I want more. But it does feel very calming, like soothing. It was soothing even just to do it. I think just the action of putting the intention in the tea and just creating it in general felt very calming and soothing and, just kind of grounding. So there's that as well. So anyways, I'm going to enjoy my tea and do my tarot spread. Thanks for being here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much, much better. Okay, that's it. That's the last one I wanted to share this month. So if you have any of these, sound off in the comments. Love to hear what you think of these books. If you have them, if you are planning to get them, things that you like. Have you been using the spreads in some of these books? And what's going on? Let me know the things. If you want to pick any of these up, I'm going to put those links down in the description box below. I always use Amazon affiliate links. If you do buy from Amazon, I do appreciate it when you use those links. It helps my channel, but definitely shop around. You can get this one from Llewellyn. These two are Hay House, and this one is Andrews McMeel. Thank you to those of you who are doing the thumbs ups, sharing the videos out. It really helps these types of videos get out, because especially videos like this one because it's very different from what I normally have on my channel. And with the algorithm things and stuff, these videos don't necessarily get seen that much. So if you know anybody who would be interested in seeing something like this, if you share it, do a thumbs up, chat in the comments, all those things help boost the algorithm. So I really appreciate it to you guys who are doing that. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days, usually regarding tarot and oracle. And like I said, once a month we'll be doing these book reviews or book chats. Book reflections is what I've been calling them. And that's all. So until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye bye.